Hey guys, today I will be doing What If Goku Landed in MHA Part 8. Last time we left off with Deku and Goku returning to UA, and the revelation that Shigaraki is 10 days from completion. Before I start, I must warn you that there are manga spoilers in this part, so continue with caution. With that being said, let's begin. At the UN, the heads of each nations meet to discuss All Might's direct request for assistance. Due to the immediate timing, they believe there isn't enough time to get everything together, while some worry about sending their heroes off and leaving themselves vulnerable, while another notes that the potential turmoil the rest of the world is feeling is due to All for One's underground influence. Several foreign heroes, including Salam and Big Red Dot, state their insistence on wanting to help, while one of the members mentions that theirs has already left, as the United States of America's #1 pro hero, Star and Stripe makes her way over to Japan to help her master. The fight against Stars and Stripe goes the same, with it being a tiny bit harder for Shigaraki as he is at a lower percentage of completion, but still steals New Order, decaying Stars and Stripes, and fighting her vestige, destroying many quirk factors, before dying, putting Shigaraki even further from completion as he needs to wait for his quirks to stabilize. Learning of the death of the #1 hero in America to the hands of Shigaraki, the world's nations withdraw their aid, deciding to protect themselves, leaving Japan to All for One. At the dorms, All Might reveals that they have 2 weeks until Shigaraki's completion and the final battle, so they must train hard. During their training, Bakugo tries out his new cluster bomb attack on Deku and Goku, while at the same time, Toru hides behind a tree while Yoga Aoyama's parents beg for their son to continue to be the UA traitor, so that they don't die. However, Aoyama reveals that he can no longer as he feels too guilty. Out of nowhere, Deku and Goku arrive, trying to find Aoyama after realizing he was sad, but ended up overhearing Aoyama's talk about the traitor, and questions him if it's true, which his parents deny but Aoyama reveals is true, calling himself a dirty villain as he shoots a laser at Deku which Deku easily dodges, and Toru refracting it away, then using Black Whip to apprehend them and take them to the teachers for questioning. They ask them where All for One is, but they reveal that they have no clue and are only following him out of fear of death, as when they asked for a quirk for their son, he gave them one but also showed them a body showing what will happen if they disobey him, so he had to betray their friends. All we know are the orders he tells us to follow. Hearing this, Aoyama falls into despair and once again states that he is a villain through and through, but Deku rejects that idea, asking why he tried to save Goku, Bakugo and Tokayami at the training forest and why he left the cheese, realizing that it was an SOS message, then asking him if All for One ordered him to do all that. Then answering his own question saying of course not, saying the reason you are crying isn't because you failed All for One but because you betrayed everyone's trust. Deku then says that doing wrong doesn't make you a villain for the rest of your life, telling Aoyama, you can still become a hero. Hearing this, a distraught Aoyama agrees to help them train to beat All for One. After the 2 weeks of training, Goku has finally got a power level of 260. The same amount of power as what All Might had, before retiring, even creating a new technique which will be revealed later. On the day of the final fight, the heroes are split into 3 teams, Shoto and Endeavor vs Deku, Deku and 1AM against Shigaraki, and Goku fights the original All for One, with every other pro hero, holding of the Nomus. Goku easily evades many of All for One's attacks, shooting Ki Blast after Ki Blast, absolutely demolishing him. Goku then releases a solar flare, then punching All for One in the stomach. Then, punching him away, flying after him, then using a right hook kick in his mashed potato face. Finally, Goku axe kicks the side of his head, knocking him away, inflicting a great deal of damage. Enraged, All for One sends Goku flying using spring-like limbs, kinetic booster ×4 and strength enhancer ×3 to enhance his air cannon. All for One realizes that it is not enough power to defeat Goku, so use his ultimate quirk combination, utilizing the strongest quirks that he had in his body, greatly enhancing his right arm, combining spring-like limbs, multiplier, hypertrophy, rivet, airwalk, and spear-like bones, as well as 4 kinetic booster quirks and 3 strength enhancer quirks, and impact recoil, constantly punching Goku, forcing Goku to block, then using an after image, to confuse All for One, while placing energy landmines around the battlefield, blowing them up whenever All for One steps on them, dealing severe damage. While All for One is disorientated, Goku uses a meteor impact, double kicking him up into the air. Then rushing high into the air behind him, then double axe handle punching him, following by hook kick sending him crashing to the ground. Finally, Goku bends down and puts his hand over All for One's face to blast him with a one-handed Kamehameha, inflicting a great deal of damage, severely crippling him. Seeing that All for One has no hope to change, Goku kills him by tossing his nearly lifeless body into the air, then charging up a Kamehameha wave, knocking him out, while also ripping of All for One's hands so he can't steal any more quirks. Meanwhile, Deku fights a losing battle against Shigaraki, with Shigaraki grabbing his face, attempting to steal one for all. Inside the Vestige world, Deku and the previous users fight him, revealing the scared vestige of Tenko, crying in the corner, while the users repel Shigaraki back into the real world, where Goku joins them in the battle, taking over the fight. However, every attack is simply regenerated so nothing is sticking. Eventually, managing to grab Goku's face to decay him, however it is unsuccessful, as Goku put up a ki barrier, making it impossible to decay him, then punching Shigaraki in the arm, ripping it off, shooting a ki blast straight through his chest, blowing him back. However, the damage just regenerates as he strikes again, attempting to stab Goku with rivet stab, but it is broken by a ki blast, which is scattered by Shigaraki. Shigaraki is then pulled by Black Whip, then punched in the face constantly by Goku and Deku, until he rips himself in half, regenerating, throwing Deku to the ground, punching Goku in the chest, sending him flying in the air, while catapulting himself towards Deku, elbow slamming Deku, making him spit out blood, and gasp for air. Seeing this, Goku fires consecutive ki blasts, which he simply flies through, dodging a couple, once again punching Goku. However, it is an after image, giving Goku time to use the multiform to split into 4, shooting Kamehameha waves at Shigaraki on each side, holding him in place. At the same time, Deku releases a full smoke screen, using Black Whip, Float and One for All to build up kinetic energy, to use FA Jin, launching himself towards Shigaraki, releasing a United States of Smash to Shigaraki's face, sending him flying into the air, with Goku punching him with a Dragon Fist, completely destroying Shigaraki, leaving him as just a head, falling towards the ground. Shigaraki was about to fall unconscious, but is snapped back awake, by his hate fueling his super regeneration, healing his whole body in seconds, then shooting laser after laser towards Goku, forcing him to retreat, doing successive flips to dodge Lazarus, and countering with energy blasts of his own. Seeing this, Deku activates the second user's quirk, which we don't know, so for this what if it is a laser quirk, shooting Shigaraki in the back, distracting him long enough for Goku to recover, charging up a massive Kamehameha wave, firing it towards Shigaraki, forcing him to dodge, landing on the ki landmines he had placed while dodging the lasers, disorientating him, leaving him open to another axe kick to the face, followed by a volleyball smash, sending him crashing towards Deku, who pulled him in with Black Whip, shooting him with lasers, then punching him, back to Goku, with the cycle repeating until Shigaraki grew black wings from his back, slowing himself down enough to land on the ground, regenerating from his injuries. Further enraged, Shigaraki decays the ground, killing everyone on the ground, forcing Deku and Goku to save Class 1AM, who were fighting the No Mu, leaving Deku open to an attack, but it is intercepted by Goku, breaking both of Goku's legs, severely limiting his mobility. Taking the opening, Shigaraki continues, with a barrage of lasers, with Goku struggling to counter with his own, with some hitting his left arm, immobilizing it. Seeing that he has no choice, Goku gets into his Kamehameha stance, to which Shigaraki just laughs at, reminding Goku that he is weak and so can't do anything to him, so Goku releases his final attack, but it is being pushed back by Shigaraki, who uses all his quirks in synchrony, laughing, telling Goku it is over, then powering up more. Witnessing this, Deku pushes past his limits, joining in the struggle, pushing Shigaraki back, by firing air bullets and lasers at him, until Bakugo also arrives, yelling at them for stealing all the fun, firing his cluster bombs at Shigaraki. Realizing the only way to beat Shigaraki is to completely eradicate him, Goku powers up, yelling, with his muscles bulging, increasing in size, his hair standing up, and his eyes turning yellow, followed by his power increasing tenfold. With this power, Goku completely overpowers Shigaraki while in a cry, completely erasing Shigaraki. Before Shigaraki could die, Tenko released a radio wave, thanking Goku and Deku for saving him, before the connection cuts out and he dies in peace, finally joining his family. At the same time, Endeavor and Shoto finish their fight against Dabi, redeeming Toya, arresting him, along with all the other villain sympathizers working with the League. After the battle, Goku collapses to the ground, out of energy, with Deku helping him up, supporting him, as all the civilians run into the street celebrating the birth of the next symbol of peace, and the death of the symbol of fear, with the final battle being broadcasted across the globe, putting fear into the heart of any villain who considered committing a crime, leading to many years of peace, with society being rebuilt, and Class 1AM graduating, becoming top heroes, with Goku becoming the #1 hero. Unknown to them, in the darkness, Dr. Ujiko's greatest creation, wakes up in a life support container, 3 years after the final battle, wanting revenge on Goku. Okay guys, this is where I will be leaving this video off. Please like and subscribe, so you don't miss the next part of this What If. With that being said, this is Demonic Saiyan signing out. Merry Christmas.